Welcome back to Copper Star Precision, the channel dedicated to getting you more points at your competitive shooting matches. Speaking of matches, let's talk about NRL22 Nationals, which took place this past weekend. 22 stages, 270 competitors, an absolute blast of a time, extremely well organized. It was just a great experience overall. I want to bring you this series of videos going over all the stages. I took the trigger cam, so you're going to see all the match footage, but I also kind of want to break down the stages because unlike the monthly courses of fire where we get the stages in advance, these larger matches like Nationals or even the NRL 22X matches, you're really not going to have that kind of time to practice the stages beforehand. You kind of have to be able to show up, go with a game plan, and hope it works out. And hopefully, by going over the stages, kind of my game plan, discussing what worked, what didn't work, showing you the match footage, might help you at some of these larger matches that you attend, in addition to the other strategy videos that I put out for the monthly sort of club match courses of fire. I'm going to have to break up the match coverage into multiple videos, otherwise, we're going to be here forever. So there'll probably be 4 videos, 6 stages, 5 stages, and 5 stages, and that will actually correspond with sort of day 1 and day 2. So 2 videos covering day 1 where we shot 12 stages, and 2 videos covering day 2 where we shot 10 stages. These videos do take a considerable amount of time to edit, so I hope they bring you value. If they do, let me know down in the comments. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And if you want to watch these videos ad-free and support the channel even further, you can join me on Patreon, link in the description down below. But without further ado, let's jump right into the action. I was on squad 11, so we're starting on stage 11. I'm going to take you through the match in the order that I shot each stage. I got paired up with a bunch of lovely Canadian competitors, so it was great to see an international presence there. We had obviously people from all over the country, plus from Canada, South Africa, and Australia, which was really great to see. For each stage, I'm going to show you kind of a picture of how the stage was set up. We're going to go over the stage description, the target sizes, and the target order. All of this was really well documented in sort of the match booklet that we got. Very well organized, and we had dedicated ROs who really knew the stages inside and out, were able to answer questions right there before the stage starts. All in all, I was extremely impressed with the level of professionalism at this match. So here's stage 11. We have some T-posts with some wire in between them, and we have 2 provided tripods. So what's this all about? Let's look at the stage description. It is as follows. Upon the engage command, create a position such that the muzzle is under the lower fence line and engage targets 4 and 5 with 1 round each. Next, create a position such that the muzzle is between the 2 fence lines and engage targets 1, 2, and 3 with 1 round each. Lastly, create a position such that the muzzle is above the top fence line and engage targets 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with 1 round each. So every stage at this match was 10 rounds. It was also 105-second par time, so 1:45. And in this stage, the target distances were the first 3 targets, 1, 2, and 3, were 110 yards, and 4 and 5 were 180 yards. Inside the match booklet, they also gave this nice little kind of cheat sheet that showed sort of the position, the shot order, and which targets you were engaging. So we have below the fence line, shots 1 and 2 at target 4 and 5, between shots 3 through 5 were at targets 1, 2, and 3, and then above shots 6 through 10 were targets 1 through 5. And basically with the 2 tripods here, the strategy was relatively straightforward. Going prone for the first 2 shots, using the shorter of the 2 tripods, either clipping in or using a bag. I decided to use a bag to sort of shoot between the 2 fence lines, and then using the taller tripod and a bag to engage 5 targets to go over that top fence line. So let's see how it panned out.
Spotter ready?
Yep.
Crews ready?
Ready?
Stand by. Engage.
Impact. Impact. Nice, Larry. Thank Impact. Impact. Impact.
So an 8 out of 10 on stage 11, first stage of the day. Wasn't really happy with how stable I was on some of those positions, but nothing you can do except move forward to stage 12. Stage 12 had an upside down canoe. Basically, those two ratchet straps divided the canoe into left and right sides of the canoe, and the stage description was as follows. Upon the engage command, build a position on the left side of the canoe and engage target 1 with 1 round. Move to the right side of the canoe, engage targets 1, then 2 with 1 round each. Move back to the left side and engage targets 2, then 3 with 1 round each. Continue paddling back and forth on the prop engaging targets near to far with 2 rounds each as shown in the table below. I'll put a picture of the table provided in the match booklet up here, as well as the target distances. And essentially, this is a pretty straightforward stage, target 1, move, 1, 2, move, 2, 3, move, 3, 4, move, 4, 5, move, and 1 last shot on 5. So a lot of movement back and forth. My strategy was to bring sort of 2 bags, leave 1 at each position. So I was just moving the rifle, bring a pump valve of support, have a kneeling position, try and get stable, make the shots. Because we're going near to far, dialing for each target made sense in my mind. As far as executing on my plan, started off the stage well, and then things kind of fell apart towards the end. So let's watch what happened.
Shooter ready.
1 second.
Okay, ready. Stand by. Engage.
Stage 13 was off a bench, included modified prone as well as prone positions. The stage description was as follows. Upon the engage command, build a position on the bench and pay homage to the Midwest landmarks by engaging targets 1, then 4 with 2 rounds each. Transition to a supported prone position. Next to the bench, engage targets 2, then 3 with 2 rounds each. Move back to the bench. Revisit your favorite landmarks by engaging targets 1 and 4 with 1 round each. Modified prone and prone, pretty self-explanatory. Build a good position, get comfortable, good fundamentals, and try and break clean hits. If you do miss, try and correct off those hits by seeing where you missed.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Shooter, stand by. Engage.
That's probably it's like a crazy. Oh, dude, it's this dark background. I'm just on the
Got you for 9.
Thank you. Stage 14 had this very interesting cheese prop with a bunch of portholes. The stage description was as follows. Upon the engage command, engage targets 1, then 2, so large then small, with 1 round each from 4 different holes in the cheese. Transition to a 5th hole, engage target 1 with 1 round. Transition to a 6th hole, engage target 2 with 1 round. Positions may not be reused. There were a lot of different strategies on this stage. And essentially, the way I set up my rifle, I'll put a picture of it up here, is I use a combination of my flat bag as well as my rail changer, the really thin bag, because some of the portholes were extremely small. I have quick detach mount on my scope, so it's a little higher than what most people may be running. And there's definitely those small portholes were going to be troublesome. I didn't want to use the small porthole on the left because I thought it was going to be a pretty unstable position being that high up. The very, very tiny porthole is pretty much impossible to use. I don't think anyone would be able to use that. So my idea here was to kind of go in a counterclockwise motion, using the right side, transitioning to the left and the top, and then using a big bag as rear support on the other portholes on the bottom, using that last smallest hole on the bottom right for the last shot. Again, using that rail changer so I could get a little bit lower so I could actually see through the porthole.
Are you ready? Ready. Stand by. Engage. It's not. I got a terrible yeah, mine's the same.
Stage 15 was a combination of shooting off of this large tire as well as going prone. There were 5 different targets. The stage description was as follows. Upon the engage command, build a position on either side of the tire. Engage targets 4, 3, 2, 1 with 1 round each. Transition to the other side of the tire. Engage targets 1, 2, 3, 4 with 1 round each. Transition to a prone supported position through the center of the tire. Engage target 5 with 2 rounds. That white area on the tire was off limits, so you had to be either left or right of that. Pretty straightforward stage. Essentially, pick your favorite bag of choice, assume a standing position on either side of the tire, go 4, 3, 2, 1, switch to the other side, go 1, 2, 3, 4, go prone, and shoot the far target twice. There's enough time to dial for each target. The targets kind of zigzagged back and forth, so like 4, 3, 2, 1 was kind of, in a zigzag pattern. So that was just something you had to do for target acquisition. But other than that, relatively straightforward. Let's see how it went.
Shooter, are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by, engage. Impact. Impact.
Thank you.
Impact. 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 Good run.
Nice job. Unload and show clear.
The last stage we'll cover in this video is going to be this flying V stage. We have this sort of cattle gate in a V formation, a provided tripod, and a target that was actually really cool. It was kind of like a hockey net with like different targets in different corners and stuff like that. So very creative target choices. But this stage might have given people a lot of problems depending on whether or not they decided to use the tripod, if they had experience using tripod rear support, and it was kind of analysis paralysis. So we can go over the stage description. Upon the engage command, build a position on any rung on either side of the V gate. Engage targets 1 and 2 with 1 shot each. Move to another rung on the same side of the gate. Engage targets 3 then 4 with 1 round each. Move to a third rung on the same side. Engage target 5 with 2 rounds. Transition to any rung on the other side of the V gate. Engage targets 4 then 3 with 1 round each. Move to another rung. Engage target 2 with 1 round. Build a position on a third rung. Engage target 1 with 1 round. So it's 2 shots from each rung, except for the last 2 transitions, it's only 1 shot. So that might have tripped some people up. And then kind of the order you do them in kind of depends. And I decided to go top to bottom and move the tripod accordingly. So depending on if you were used to using a tripod or not, I think this is a stage that some people may have struggled on.
Shooter, are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by, engage. Good luck. Thank you.
So those were my first 6 stages of NRL22 Nationals Day 1. We've got 6 stages to go left on Day 1, and we've got some weather that's going to roll through, some wind that rolls through. As far as my performance goes, in the first half of the day, not really terribly excited to be dropping 1 and 2 shots here and there. Definitely dropped 4 on that one stage. That really hurt. So early in the day when the weather's a little bit more calm, trying to pick up as many points as possible is kind of the name of the game. And right now it seems like I can't clean a stage to save my life. But I hope these videos give some insight as to sort of the strategies I employ, especially when you don't have the match book in advance, and like the monthly courses of fire and the strategy videos that I do, and the dry fire practice that I do. So you kind of have to show up, come up with a game plan, and try and execute on that game plan. So hopefully these videos show you my thought process and will help you score more points at the next match where you don't have sort of advanced knowledge like the monthly courses of fire. So that might be a PRS Rimfire match or an NRL22X match. We've got a lot more stages to cover, so make sure that you're subscribed down below with notifications enabled so you find out when those videos go live. Again, if you want to watch these videos ad-free, you can always support me on Patreon, and those videos will actually probably go up earlier than the ones on YouTube. And while you're down there, leave some comments. I read all the comments. I typically respond to most people, so if you have any questions about the match, about the gear I'm using, let me know down below. That's going to be all for this one. Until I see you next time, as always, score more points.